with the first question, the big topic that I think most of you are wondering about, which is how do I get logged in? So we have a list of all of the residents, and we have uploaded your information so that you have a login for the app. So the first thing that you should do is you should keep a lookout for an email coming from that address on the screen, info@ontopoftheworldapp.com. So that email will include all of your information for getting logged in. If you haven't downloaded the app yet, it has the links for downloading the app so that you can get it downloaded and logged in. So regardless of whether or not you have requested an account prior to today, you should receive that email. And the login credential for everybody getting logged in the first time is your username will be your email address that you either submitted when you requested your account or that you have on file with Oto. And then your password for logging in the first time is the last 4 digits of your phone number on file. So if you haven't received the email yet, you can always try those credentials to see if those will work for logging in. Now, if Oto doesn't have your email address, there are a few people that we didn't have emails on file for, so we couldn't send you the invitation. So if you don't see that email come through to your primary email address, what I want you to do is click the Register My Account button at the bottom right of the home feed. That's going to pull up a form for you to fill out with your personal information. Make sure to select the neighborhood that you live in and submit that request. Now, once you submit that form, that goes straight to the Oto team. So the next step is for us to just approve your account. So there's lots of great resident-only information in here. So you will need to be confirmed as a resident for us to approve you. So once you've submitted this request, you don't need to reach back out or send an email to anybody. You've already done that by submitting your request. And you'll be notified via email once we approve you. So just keep an eye out again for that info@ontopoftheworldapp.com email address. The subject line will be download the On Top of the World app, and it will have all the information that you need to get logged in. All right, so once you get logged in, I highly recommend you save your credentials. So that should pop up as an option for you on your phone. It'll ask you if you want to save your password. That's always a great thing to do. That way you don't have to remember it yourself. And that also allows you to use, Face ID or Touch ID on your device if you do use those features because your password is saved. If you do forget your password or if you're running into any trouble, you can always reset it. And that works the same way you reset your password on any other account you have online. It's right from the login screen, and you can see on that video there, you just click Forgot Password, and ask you for your email address, and then we'll send you an email with a secure link for you to click on to set up a new password. So if you ever run into trouble logging in, that's how you can create a new password and get logged into your account. There are a few things to keep in mind when you have a mobile app downloaded onto your device. So the first thing is keeping the app up to date and making sure that you always have the latest and greatest. And then there are a few specific permissions that we'll ask for in order to give you the very best experience in the app. So we'll go over those in detail. So app updates will be regular. We always want to make sure that we're improving your guys' experience within the app. So I always prefer myself to have automatic updates turned on. So that can be done either through your device settings on an iPhone or through your Google Play settings on an Android device. But if you don't prefer to have those automatic updates enabled and you want to do that manually, if you ever see anything kind of funny in the app, it's always best to first start off by making sure you have the very newest version of the app, and that will make sure that we are all on the same page so that if you reach out to our team, we know that you're on the newest version of the app. So if you ever need to check, just search for the Oto app in your app store, just like you did earlier when you were getting it downloaded. And you'll see a little update icon next to it if you have an update available. Permissions. Okay, so I have a new appreciation being here in person for the first time for how large On Top of the World is. I'm sure all of you have that same experience, but there is a dedicated map within the OTO app that has all of the specific locations within the community. So if you are searching for the dining options, or for golf, or for some of your amenities, you can do a location-based search by clicking on the map in the home feed. So one of the things that you'll notice is there will be a pop-up when you get logged into the app that asks permission to share the device location. We don't save that information, it's just for in time showing you your location in relation to any of the amenities or dining or any of the other locations within the community, so that you can see where you are in reference to these other locations, and then get directions to those locations as well. Last little permission here is push notifications. So just the way that you can get notifications from your Facebook app or your Instagram app for people posting things or liking your posts, you can receive push notifications from the On Top of the World app, and those come directly from your On Top of the World team. They don't come from me. So there'll be timely updates, important information for residents to know. If an event gets canceled, there will be a push notification sent out about that, letting you know. So I highly, highly recommend that you enable those push notifications so you can receive those updates from the team. If you are like me and you quickly deny those permissions as soon as that pop-up comes up on your phone, you can always customize that in your device settings. And that's just under Settings, go find the OTO app, and then you'll see the option to customize the push notifications. Now the fun stuff. Okay, so the primary navigation in the app is the hamburger menu, so the two lines in the upper left. That opens a big long list, and one of the really neat things that we've done is we've curated the app experience for each one of you so that it shows specific information that's most relevant for you based off of where you live. So if you are a resident in Indigo East, you'll see an event calendar for all of the events happening in Indigo East. Same thing for amenities and amenity reservations. You'll also notice that when you are first logged into the app, you'll land on the home feed. So that home feed is going to be kept up to date for information most relevant to you. So it's things like events that you've reserved for, amenity rentals that you have secured, all going to be under that events and reservations for you. So if you ever need to find quick information, the home feed is a good place to look. And you might see promoted things from the OTO team, like important updates or events that we think you might be interested in. So the home feed is always a good place to look for new information. Your profile is accessible from the icon in the top left of that home feed. So your profile has your personal information, and one of the great features in the new app is a resident-only directory. So if you would like to show your information in the directory, you can specify that within your profile. And you can also determine your level of visibility in the directory. So none of your personal information, like your email or your phone number, shows unless you choose to show it. So you have to toggle those switches on. And then you have the ability to add a profile picture and a little bio if you want to share a little bit of information about yourself with other residents in the directory. Your profile is also where you can store a card on file. So one of the great features that will be new to everybody in this app is online event reservations. So if you are purchasing tickets for an event, you'll need a card on file, and that can just be added from your profile. So all you need to do is click Manage Payment Options, and then enter your card information in the form provided. And that's just stored securely on your profile. And then you can have multiple cards if you would prefer, and then there's a little check mark next to your default. So that makes it really simple, really fast, and easy to purchase those tickets for any upcoming events. So speaking of events, how do you purchase tickets? So in the main menu, you'll see a few different menu items for events. There is the master calendar, which most of you are probably already familiar with. It has the big long list of events. You can filter this by date range, and you can also filter by category. So you'll see games, classes, dancing, all of the different categories that you're used to. And then you can select your event, and if it has tickets purchasable through the app, you'll see an action button at the bottom. So it might be RSVP or purchase tickets. So just select that button, choose the number of tickets you'll like to purchase. You'll see a little confirmation, and then once you click confirm, your card on file will be charged. So if you don't have a card on file yet and it's a paid event, you'll be prompted to add one, which again is just done through your profile. After you have purchased tickets, they'll show in the events and reservations for you section of your home feed. So if you don't see them right away, I always just pull down from the top of the home feed to refresh it. And then you can also find them under the My ID icon. So that's the furthest one to the left, the right. And it says My ID, and you'll see a button in there that says My Event Reservations. So clicking on that will pull up the list of events that you've reserved for or purchased tickets for. Reserving amenities. This is another new one, so you will also have the ability to request a room rental for one of the spaces in Oto. This is again another one of the curated items based off of where you live. So if you live in Candler Hills, you'll see the Candler Hills reservable amenities right within your main menu. So the first thing that you're going to do is find the amenity that you want to request a rental for. Once you select the amenity, you'll see a list of durations that you can choose. So it's typically between 30 minutes and I think 8 hours is the longest. So just choose how long you want the room reserved for, and then you'll be brought to the calendar so you can see the availability. So choose your date and your time. If you're requesting a recurring reservation for your club, just choose the first instance that you want the room reserved. So if I'm reserving Mondays every week starting in 2025, I would just select the first Monday in January that I want the room reserved for. After you select your date and time, you'll be brought to the rental agreement. So that's going to look like a little chat, and it's going to ask you several questions about your event and confirm that you acknowledge all of the rules for renting a room. So all you need to do is type back your answers in that chat, and then you will be emailed a full completed copy of that form after you've answered the final question. You'll receive a success message as well once you answer the final question, and the last step is to visit the recreation office. So within 48 hours of submitting that request via the app, head over to the recreation office. They'll finalize all of the paperwork, confirm your rental, and you'll be all good to go. And speaking of clubs are a really big thing here. When I heard that there was like over 150 clubs, that blew my mind. So of course we had to have a club directory in the Oto app. You'll notice that in the main menu, they're broken up by type. So sports, games, all of the different categories. And there's also a search function. So on your home feed at the top, you'll see a little search button so you can search clubs if you're looking for a particular one and you don't know what category we placed it in. So on all of the club pages, you'll see information about when the club meets, and you'll also see events on that club page. In that little video, I set a reminder for when softball was happening. You'll also see contact information for club leaders. So if you want to join a club, you've found a new club in the app that you're not a member of yet, you can contact the club leader directly to join. And if you tap that interested button, which is the first one you see at the bottom of the page, that will add you to the group for the club within the app so that you can receive important updates and notifications about club events and new things happening for those clubs. So that is the final thing that I wanted to walk through was those clubs, and the last thing that I wanted to just mention is that there's going to always be new things coming. I'm not going to tell you the whole roadmap, but we already have a list of a few things that we have up our sleeve that will be coming soon to the Oto app as well. So keep an eye out. Like I said, make sure that you have the updates enabled and those push notifications enabled so that you will be the first one to know when there's new things added to your app.